You are welcome to join me in prayer. Loving Father, thank you for allowing us to come together and discuss our community needs and working together for the betterment of our city. Help us to listen with goodwill and act with conviction and character. Finally, help us to treat all with dignity and respect our differences to make this life better for all. Thank you very much. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. It is our honor to recognize two distinguished nominees for our Black History Month, and I'm going to read the first one. She's right in front of me. I love it. This person, I was honored to coach her daughter in basketball, and that's how we got to know each other. And it's great that we're recognizing Mia Tinsley, and I'm going to read this. Got to always switch it over here. Whereas Mia Tinsley has participated in and helped organize numerous events in the city of Clemson, especially those that highlight Black history. Whereas Tinsley serves as the chair of the Friends of the Clemson Area African American Museum for 3 years, where she led efforts to support the mission of CAM to collect, show exhibits, preserve the history of African Americans in Clemson and upstate South Carolina. Whereas she has served as the Juneteenth coordinator, raising funds and coordinating logistics, as well as encouraging others to contribute their skills and stories to this historic event. Whereas Tinsley earned an Associate of Arts degree from the Tri-County Technical College and a Bachelor's in Special Education from Clemson University, during which time she received the John Richardson Award for Excellence in Education. Whereas Tinsley continues her education, earning a Master's in Literacy and from the Grand Canyon University, a literacy certification from the South Carolina Department of Education, and began a doctoral program on assessment at Southern Wesleyan in 2022. You've covered all our area universities. I love it. Whereas in addition to her studies and her volunteer efforts, Tinsley serves as the Reading and College Skills Instructor in the Academic Career Foundations Department, as well as the Faculty Liaison for the Office of Academic Development at Tri-County, and received the Presidential Medallion, I'll repeat that again, received the Presidential Medallion for Instructional Excellence in Education last year. Now, therefore, I, Robert Halfaker, Mayor of the City of Clemson, on behalf of City Council, do recognize Mia Tinsley for her dedicated service to educating our community and preserving Black history in the area. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the great seal of the city to be affixed this 5th day of February 2024. Congratulations. We're going to come around and present, and then please share what you would like to share. So we're going to come around. You know, there's only 2 of us that come around there, and everybody else stands back here, but everybody can come around, you know. It's an open table. I love it. Congratulations. Look at that. See, that's what I do.
Mom reflected.
Good job, Robert. Well, thanks, everyone. I wanted to be able to do that too. All right, let's see if I can make sure.
Right side up.
Absolutely. I did put it up to the right side.
Let me see all the things.
Good. Good. All right. Would you like to say something?
Okay.
Yeah, you're on the spot now. Yeah, absolutely.
However you want. So I want to give you all special thanks. So good evening, City Council, community members, and friends. I stand before you, and I'm not going to ugly cry. Thank you. I stand before you with a heart filled with gratitude and a deep sense of honor. It is a privilege to be recognized during Black History Month, a time when we reflect on the rich tapestry of contributions made by individuals who have shaped our communities and our world. I want to express my appreciation to the City of Clemson for this incredible honor. I am humbled to have the opportunity to share a few words about the work we have collectively undertaken to uplift and strengthen our community. As many of you know, I'm driven by a passion, not gonna ugly cry, for community service and commitment to fostering positive change. I hold a strong belief that if you have the ability to do so, you should. Those with the means and capacity to make a positive impact or contribute to a cause have a responsibility to do so, to bring positive change and make a meaningful difference in the lives of others and the community. From my involvement with the Clemson Area African American Museum to Leadership Clemson, every step has been guided by dedication to building a community where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. One of the highlights has been collaborating with the City of Clemson to expand the Juneteenth celebration. This event, rooted in history and cultural significance, has allowed us to come together as a community, celebrate our shared heritage, and educate others about the importance of freedom and equality. Recently, I had the honor of hosting Mayor Halfacre, who shared his insights with students on our Pendleton campus. This marks just one example of the partnerships we are forging with city officials. The support from City Council has been invaluable, and I'm hopeful for continued collaboration to benefit our students and community. I would like to offer an invitation to members of City Council to visit and share your stories and how students can get involved in community service. With Tri-County's Association of Political Sciences and Men and Women of Color student groups, as I know you are committed to empowering the next generation of leaders. I look forward to crossing paths via our efforts with the Green Crescent Trail, who's here today, the Keysborn Park and Doghouse projects as they exemplify our dedications to sustainability and the enhancement of our shared spaces. These initiatives not only beautify our community, but also promote a sense of pride and interconnectedness among residents. As we celebrate Black History Month, let us remember that history is not just about the past, it's about the present and future we collectively shape. I'm grateful to be a part of a community that values diversity, collaboration, and progress. Together, we will continue to build a community that thrives on inclusivity and shared purpose. Once again, thank you to the City of Clemson for this distinguished honor, and I look forward to our continued partnership and positive impact we will make together. Thank you.
You want a picture with your family? I was gonna say, you can leave it there for the time being.
Nathan, you're ready. Yeah. We are also honored to recognize Dr. Kenneth Robinson. Okay, there he is. You're hiding behind Nathan. You were hiding behind Nathan at first. So what a tremendous asset as well to our community. So I'm going to read this and please come up. So whereas Dr. Kenneth Robinson is Associate Professor in the Department of Sociology, Anthropology, and Criminal Justice at Clemson University, which is also his alma mater. Whereas Dr. Robinson earned his master's at the LBJ School of Public Affairs and his PhD in departmental sociology at Cornell University, where he was awarded a Fulbright Fellowship to examine the emergence of small-scale commercial agriculture in the economically disadvantaged former homeland areas of South Africa. Whereas he's also spent time in Washington, D.C. as a presidential management intern with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, then a lobbyist in the Texas Governor's Office in State-Federal Relations. Whereas Dr. Robinson is a faculty affiliate with the Center for the Research of Health Disparities at Clemson University, a member of the Pickens County Educational Foundation and the Clemson Area League of Women Voters, and Jeez, this is awesome. And the co-president, I knew a lot of this, so that's great. And the co-president of the Cornell Alumni Association, Blue Ridge Mountains. Whereas Dr. Robinson's research and outreach interests include rural sociology, entrepreneurship, health disparities, sustainable development, and teaches courses in community sociology, human ecology, and social impact analysis. Whereas the city of Clemson has benefited greatly from Dr. Robinson's education and research interests, where he has served on as a member of the Clemson Next Steering Committee and has made a tremendous impact, so thank you again. And he and his students have conducted valuable research on the historical Black communities and the impact of gentrification. Now, therefore, I, Robert Halfaker, Mayor of the City of Clemson, on behalf of Clemson City Council, do recognize Dr. Kenneth Robinson for his dedicated service to educating and improving our community. And I'll repeat that, educating and improving our community and preserving Black history in the area. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the great seal of the city to be affixed this 5th day of February 2024. Congratulations, Dr. I'm gonna make sure I don't drop it this time. So, you know, I've learned. And if you didn't know, his wife was also recognized, I think last year or the year before. So, and we have 2 honorees here. This is awesome. So, there you go. Yes, sir. Thank you. Congratulations. I'm gonna put my hand. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Would you like to say anything?
Just briefly, it won't be as in-depth as the previous speaker, but I would like to say thank you so much to the City of Clemson and all the council members. A number of you guys have been to my classes and have interacted with me. My area of interest is community and economic development, and so I'm very interested in either bringing the community to our classes or getting students out into the classes, out into the community. So this is great, and I certainly appreciate y'all for doing this during Black History Month, recognizing the diversity in our community, and I certainly appreciate all the work that you all do. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ken.
Why not, right?
She's got her phone, so we'll send it to you. It's just the opposite side this time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Robert's going to tell you now you can go home if you want to.
I will say, as Catherine just said, you're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the city council meeting, but we also know that you may have other family obligations, so please leave if you'd like. How's that? Did I say that? I said please.
Unless you want to make comments for public
Well,
session.
no, that's what I was saying. This is an opportunity. We'll give a 20-second break here. All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right. We good? Okay. We always enjoy it, and we look forward to recognizing other individuals that are next city council meeting. But next, we'll turn it over to public session, and Mayor Pro Tem Smith will take care of it from here and also discuss about our public hearing as well.
Well, thank you all for being here, and I know we had a public hearing earlier before we start this meeting, but this is an opportunity for members of the in the audience, if you would like to come up and make some comments to City Council. It could be a continuation from what we had at public hearing, but we ask that you limit it to 3 minutes since it's public session during our City Council meeting. We just ask that you come to the podium, state your name and your residence, also sign in with Jeremiah so that we have that for the record. If anything else, if you don't want to make a comment about what we talked about at the public hearing, you still can come up and speak, as long as it's not already on the agenda under our policy actions or other policy actions. So this is your opportunity, so make your way. Hold up, so.
How are y'all?
Good.
Good. I just want to make a comment about the Kiwi Trail. Hard decisions, right? I don't love more student housing, but I feel like it's coming. It's like the train coming down the track. My fear is if this is not a PD, then we still get student housing with not extras. I do like the idea of 75 parking spaces. I do like the idea of the impact fee to what would potentially $2 million of helping build that park out. And so, you know, my desire is, y'all know my desire is fun in the city. So I do like the idea of an amphitheater. I see that as being space for a hub for City of Clemson residents during the summer specifically that can produce live music, arts, food, fun. I see that being a communal space where people come together around those types of things. And so as hard as these decisions are, I do see that as one benefit, maybe two benefits of this planned development. I would love to see that space, that waterfront park, developed into something amazing, and this could give us some funds to do that. Just one positive, and all the hard decisions that y'all make, I just want to say thank you. So appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Peter.
And this is Peter Hyatt. You didn't say your name for the,
Oh, Peter Hyatt, 110 Roslyn Drive.
thank you.
Once again, I'm still Bob Healy.
Hasn't changed?
Separate topic completely. Some of you know, for me to get home from 123, I go down College Avenue and turn right onto Edgewood. You can't turn on red at that point. What's happening more and more is that there'll be some vehicle, be it a bus or a delivery truck or a private car waiting to pick somebody up along College Avenue. And certainly I understand the buses, but the delivery trucks, the individual cars require you then to either stop and wait or to go out to the left lane and then pass that vehicle and then come back into the right lane in order to make the turn. It's a hazard. You know, if somebody's coming down the hill on a scooter and I don't notice them while I'm coming out on the left, it could be a disaster. So what I'm asking is that if Chief Campo could look into perhaps declaring that stretch of College Avenue to be no stopping. If you make a delivery, if you're picking someone up, come around to the back of the building, and that way you're not causing any kind of delays or problems. So it's just something that I'd like to have considered.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
And Rick Ware, 100 Holiday West, you know, there's an old saying that says
something along the lines of, you're not going to please all the people all the time, but you'll be able to please some of the people some of the time. So I'll just also ask a couple questions to these folks, if I'm permitted. When you build this at this height, are you building steel? Are you you're doing stick built?
On top of a concrete podium.
2 stories of concrete, so you'll have concrete floors?
Correct.
And then, okay, good. So that's a positive. The bottom line is this is going to be student housing. Whether you approve these folks or you approve somebody else that comes through, and the reality of that is just a fact. We all stand up here. We've all been through the whole process of the last 3 or 4 years, and you know, I heard a lot of comments tonight that are the same comments that I heard when Dockside was being built. The traffic's going to be horrendous. It's going to add 600 more cars. And the reality of it is, and my neighbors will probably shoot me for this, but it's not been that bad. And, you know, they did put in a traffic light. And so that has helped tremendously with us being able to turn left out of there. You guys may have to put a traffic light at Kiwi Trail and College Avenue, I don't know. But I think that you guys have tough decisions, or the Planning Commission has tough decisions to go forward here. I haven't seen anything nicer. I haven't seen anybody propose anything nicer. And personally, I'm afraid that if you don't approve something like this, those 3 lots are going to be student housing, and we're going to get whatever they want to get. I would ask that there be some kind of a study to have some idea, since I thought they were building out the amphitheater, because I think that's would be a great thing for us, especially since I can't talk because I just got off the rock boat. I think it would be wonderful to have a lot of bands that come in there and be able to play on the lake. So, but I'd like to understand what that's really going to cost us, and then I don't know when you dredge. You know, Andy's not here to ask that question, but the lake's back up again. So I think just having those kind of rough in cost of what that's going to be, and can we cover it with the impact fees? Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
I'm Robert Lee, I live at 113 Presley Drive. I'm going to do just a very abbreviated version of this tonight. I know it's been a long night already. There's no urgency to do all of it, but I got very interested in just the subject of diversity and equitable representation, and ended up doing a lot of research, and things more and more led me to more things. And the basic gist of it that I found is I was going to start this by saying I want to have a chance to convince you that I don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about equitable representation, because it just gets very complicated, and it led me back to a court case back in 1976 that had a decision about that. It was also pretty interesting. That still is relevant today with issues around. But anyway, the main idea is that if I have my identity, I'm a male, and it says on my driver's license, I'm a combined. So basically the diversity is split up in 2 parts. But once you start adding more and more, that's on the government ID, it's under sex still. But once you start adding more and more categories and subcategories, I thought, how do I represent that? Well, you get a 3-dimensional realm of things you got to look at. So this court case in '76 was that people there clearly was discrimination, and the court determined that, but they said, well, we want damages on this category and on this subcategory. And the court said, we can't do that. We're not set up to do that. So that basically is a lot of the origin of CRT and critical legal theory, critical race theory, and then DEI comes from that too. So all kind of interesting. But anyway, that's the main idea, and I think I can organize it all better and send it to you, a lot of it by email. I know it's been a long night already, so I just want to leave it at that for tonight. But I want to continue. If everybody reads those emails, I can organize most of it. I just think it's important for people, and I don't know what the right answer is. I mean, I really don't know, but I just think there are things that I learned, I found I want other people to be aware of who are making bigger decisions than I'm making. So I'll organize that by email and send it on. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? If not, Mayor, I will turn it.
The one
Oh, I
to
got to
read.
read. Thank you.
That's fine. Back and forth.
Oh, my goodness. I actually have a couple of reads on it. No, it's just the same one. Okay. I have a public comment, and others can actually make these comments too to our My Civic app if they're not able to be here in person. But we did get a comment from Julie Morgan Ryan, who lives at 307 College Avenue. Please do not allow this development. The traffic congestion at the intersection of Tiger and Clemson is already beyond capacity. Coupled with the new housing north of Highway 123 that will go in line in the next few months, it will be impossible to get through the traffic light, and the accident rate will only rise as people run the red turn lights. As there's only one access point to Highway 123 from this area due to the railroad, the traffic is already heavy. Also, it is unrealistic to think that any of the outdoor spaces of retail will be enjoyed by any other than students. Why does the city continue to allow these megalith developments for students? Where are the benefits to residents? If student housing is what they have, student housing, I think it's housing supposed to be, is so desperately needed, why isn't the university building new dorms or complexes? This development is no more than a country club for students. And that is the comment. I will turn it over to you.
Okay, perfect. All right. The next item is the possible approval of minutes for January 10th, which was a special call. Actually, was January 10th? Yeah, January 10th was a special call. That's what I have to think about there. January 10th of 2024, a special call meeting. And also, if it's okay with everybody, we also have January 11th of 2024, which was also a special call meeting, and then January 16th of 2024. Would somebody like to make a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of January 10th, 2024, January 11th, 2024, and January 16th, 2024.
Second.
Comments, discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. All right, thank you very much. Next, we'll go into reports and discussion. The first one is to discuss the addition of Columbus Day and Veterans Day to the city's holiday policy. Tracy. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you guys, I appreciate your time. So as you all know, we completed a classification and compensation study, and along with that, we also did a benefits study. A lot of the things that came out of that study, take a little bit of time to implement. One of the things that they found was that we're paying 2 less holidays to our employees versus our peers. So after looking at federal holiday policy, state holiday policy, and our peers policy, Columbus Day and Veterans Day were the 2 outside of President's Day. That was the third one. The 2 main holidays that we are not paying for, not covering for our employees right now. I know we had looked at possibly the federal schedule, but then that would take away some of our current city holidays that we observe. So just wanted to bring it to you guys to talk about it, just to see if you had any questions about anything before we move forward.
I'm starting to understand how people get to the optional holiday idea that you can pick one that you like.
Yeah.
So how many holidays total would this give us as compared to, say, the federal schedule?
The federal schedule has 11, this will give us 12.
Other questions, comments?
Which should be the 12th? Which one is the 12th holiday?
It must be the city one where we'll be taking
It'll just be
away.
city, well, we get the day after Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve, which are two holidays that aren't observed in the
I got it, okay.
Yeah. Okay,
All right.
no questions? And
Thank you,
we'll
Tracy.
start next time. Thank you
Enjoy
very
your
much.
evening.
Thank you.
All right, Nathan. I know you have the possibility to discussion a public hearing for RZNE 206, 2023. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this real easy. I got an email from the developer right before the meeting. He'd like to withdraw this. And it was too late to let you guys know to pull it. But basically, he said that after a lot of due diligence, soil borings, discussions with Duke Power and SCDOT, they no longer believe that site's a viable site for their project.
Which one was this?
This is on 93, right across from Walmart, where there's
Storage
potentially
units.
some stuff. Yeah. So the storage buildings is what he was going for there. We had a split planning commission vote and did not have someone in attendance to break the tie. So that's why I came here for a public hearing. But he would like to withdraw, and he is going to look at other sites in town to potentially place this.
Thank you, Nathan. Yep. Appreciate it.
That was easy.
Enjoy your evening.
I'm out here.
Yeah. Just keep on dropping. Move on.
You
Next is
keep offering, they keep taking you up on it.
Next is discuss the increase in the city's Duke Energy overhead to underground program, which has been a tremendous success. I know you're getting ready to share all the good news, and we also have someone from Duke. Thank you, Trent, for being here. We appreciate it. So I'll turn it over to Allie.
Thank you. And like you said, I'll tag team with Mr. Ackers from Duke Energy. But we started the overhead to underground program in July 2022. And since then, we have had 81 total submissions with 22 projects complete, 1 under construction, and the rest have either not responded or in the holding period. So we currently contribute $750 each, the city and Duke, for a total of $1,500. And we have quite a bit of money in the account, and if we don't spend it, it rolls off. So we would like to recommend increasing that amount for a total of $1,500 each for $3,000, which would cover most, if not all, of the costs associated with moving it underground.
That's well said, and to your point, Mr. Mayor, it's been very successful. Allie has managed it very well and works really closely with our planning supervisor and one of the teammates that we have there. In fact, I went out on another one yesterday and continue to kind of review the projects as they come in. This is going to be more in line with what other cities that are taking advantage of this program are doing in terms of the stipend, and just honestly coming more in line with the cost of what most of these projects take. It's expensive, more expensive than it was, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, certainly. So, it's up to the city. We have the fund. As long as we have the money, we will match what the city kind of comes forward with. But if you're asking an opinion, I think it's a good idea in terms of getting more engagement.
I will say that I'm recusing myself from this vote because I would benefit from this, and I actually emailed Duke Power about this because I was surprised at the amount of the estimate at my house. It was $3,300, not counting the $1,500, so it would have been over $4,000 to do this, which surprised me, to be honest.
When undergrounding in general, to your point, we talk a lot, and I'm sure you hear as city council people and the mayor, why are all the power lines underground, right? Well, it's incredibly expensive to put them underground and other complications too, but just material cost, availability, all
Well,
those
he
things.
does have to go under a street, so there
If the boring was involved, certainly.
there was that issue.
Right.
I will personally, I went through it. I think it's a great process. I encourage people to take advantage of it. I think we should increase it. For me, I actually went the directional boring because just as I had the trench and fence moving, it would have cost about the same to repair the yard as it would have to bore in there. But it was a good process through the Duke and the city side. I would say just because y'all use some contractors on there so they show up at Duke Energy on there, right. We may need to create a little more public awareness around that because I had some other work going on. People were like, well, just a little minor work site conflict. But, they got it all worked out.
Two questions. What is the date that this needs to be, the funds have to be used by, or they roll?
It rolls off after 3 years.
Okay.
I believe is what it is. So like we have had 300,000 in the account pretty consistently.
Right.
Because more will come on.
About
and then
100's
roll
rolling
off.
off a year.
Well, and if I can interject, I'm sorry, just a little more. It's added each year based on 0.5% of the city's gross annual, or the gross annual sales, electricity, and the gross annual revenue, rather, of the city's electric sales. So there will be a new year added. It just can never, it won't stack up past 5 years, as a matter of fact.
So,
It's
that makes
5.
Okay, that.
So there
I
will be
understand.
additional, it's just that you couldn't go, for example, 8 years without doing it and see all that money. You would lose a year. It can never be more than the 5 previous years, so.
Second question, is the plan then, if we were to increase what we were going to approve to be used, to then contact all the people that either have applied and not responded, or like try to get them going, or do we have enough interest
That's
that?
where we've talked about that some. We would probably have them reapply just to start everyone on the same playing field. But once we decided if council would like to move forward, we would write a letter to Duke saying we'd like to increase the funding amount.
Right.
And then put out a new notice of please apply.
Got it.
Okay, to start over.
So if it didn't, if we kind of reach a point where it's saturated, people weren't taking advantage of it, can we use it to do bigger city projects in areas?
If it is
As well.
moving underground.
Yeah.
So
So it's not just resident, we can use that for our own utility. while it's going underground. So that's something to think about in neighborhoods. Once we reach a certain point, there's gonna be more revenue because they're about to raise our rates based on some of the stuff I've been reading.
That's not my year.
So there's gonna be more money to work with there.
No, he didn't say anything, he just looked up.
This is a unique program to not just South Carolina for Duke Energy, but Duke Energy Carolinas, so the upstate area. Really encourage folks to take advantage of it. And it does help. Will it stop every outage? No. You're talking about the last service pole to your house, but it does a lot of that damage that you're ultimately responsible for as a customer. Services pulled off your home, those types of things. It's a big deal, and aesthetically, I think it's a big help as well.
Like taking a roof off. Just one little line is over our big area. It's just like taking a roof off of the yard, versus one cable or 3 cables.
This is a semi-related question. Is there any way when you all are doing this, if you have to include telephone cable and other lines in the undergrounding, if you were going to do it with directional boring from the street?
It's explicitly prohibited for us to do it or use these funds to do it. Could the other utilities coordinate with us? Yes. But we could not use those funds, or we couldn't match at least our funds.
Right. But you could have the work coordinated if the homeowner.
If they wanted to contact, for example, AT&T or Vi or whoever their telecommunication provider was, they could.
Okay.
But we would not, again, it's pretty explicit, is that we couldn't coordinate that on their behalf. Correct.
Don't cross the streams.
They happen to use that same hole to run that cable through.
Any other comments, questions, good feedback? Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And then publicly, just thank you for being our community liaison. You've done a great job keeping us informed on the different projects, so thank you.
Happy to do
That's
it.
a side note, but that's a very important note, so appreciate it.
Yep, thank you all.
Thanks, Trent. Enjoy the family time.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Good night.
Next is staff report.
So first, just want to thank you all for coming and participating in the budget workshop on Friday. I think it was good, beneficial to staff and council as we start the budget process. And it'll be, the next few months, we'll all be going hard. So we appreciate your support in that. And then Jeremiah has a few things to share.
Two things. One, statement of economic interest. If you have not done that, please go ahead and do that and send it to me. There are fines if you do not do it. And they can be pretty steep.
Someone's experienced it.
So make sure.
What's the deadline? March?
I think it's in March.
March 30th. We still got a little while.
Don't delay.
For one that just did it, it actually repeats it from last year. So it's actually a lot easier now that you've already done it. So
I just got to remember to do it.
That's the hard part, is remembering.
Other thing is the packets, gave you all travel packets. It's got your registration, your hotel reservation, your credit card authorization form, and some stuff about parking. So there's also got my cell on there in case you have any problems. Just let me know.
Since we're not using a card that we have approve,
Anything else?
yeah. That would
Alright.
be approve that we have permission to charge.
Just a reminder, conversation with
You're the
council.
navigator.
Conversation with council is on Thursday night, and it will be the joint at the Abel Baptist Church to do the community update and input for the CDBG grant.
Thank you. All right. Next is to go into policy action, ordinances. And the first one is to consider the first reading of amendment to the boards and commission enacting ordinances to enhance equity and inclusion. This is going to be tabled for the time being, so we're going to move now to other policy items. Is to consider a resolution committing the city to provide a local match for the Abel's Community Sidewalk and Safety Enhancement Project in the amount of $270,364. Allie, you're still on.
Yes, thank you. This is just clerical paperwork for the grant that we received. We have to send in the resolution to the Department of Commerce saying that we will provide the match for the $750,000 grant that we got for the Abel sidewalk improvements.
Questions, comments for Allie? Anyone from the public? All right, would somebody like to make a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the resolution committing the city to providing a local match for the Abel Community Sidewalk and Safety Enhancement Project in the amount of $270,364.
Second.
Okay, comments? If not, any other comments? Any comments? All in favor, raise your right hand. All right, thank you very much. Next is to Nathan. I saw you sneak in. I was watching.
Nathan, you were looking
but I'm
down.
actually, I'm proud of you for doing that.
Jeff pulled me aside.
Sound good.
You were looking down at your phone and I thought you were sleeping against the back row. You look real
Very
comfy.
conscientious of your time. So, next is to authorize Nathan, city engineer, to enter into negotiations with Pond and Company for the design of the Nettles Scenic Bikeway. Nathan.
So we received 6 proposals. We interviewed 3 firms, Pond, Stantec, and GMC. The selection committee recommends that we go into negotiations with Pond to design the Nettles Scenic Bikeway, which is the from Old Central Road near Nettles Park all the way to 18 Mile Road, kind of following 18 Mile Creek as an approximate guide for the direction of the path. So it'd be a true greenway.
This is just for clarification only, but Chad asked me about it, but this is essentially the Green Crescent Trail.
Correct, yeah.
Just the name of that section is the...
Yeah, it's the bidding name. So like
Okay.
what we found is that, so a really good example is the Green Crescent Trail Phase 1.
Yeah.
There was 2 Green Crescent Trail Phase 1s that were both being bid within a month of each other.
Okay.
One was Central, one was Clemson.
Yeah.
And so and then we heard from a funding source that there was 2 applicants for the exact same project. Well, it wasn't.
Right.
So to avoid that, we are trying to name our sections something.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
To
makes sense.
be, just to be representative of the section.
Which is a component of the Green Crescent.
Yeah.
So what John just said, there's a clear message that we just want to make sure we keep on continuing
is
to
the
have.
Green
That it's
Crescent
part of
Trail.
it, but it's, how we're having to do it logistically. So, but it's a clear message that we're very much the Green Crescent Trail.
Yep.
And everything designed is in the city limits,
No.
so we wouldn't fund it if, how is that gonna work if we're going outside the city limits?
I mean, I think that would be, we'd have to probably clear that
We're
up.
gonna kind of put a design in there and.
Yeah, we'd have to clear that up with easements and things like that to clarify where, we can't do work outside of city limits, so there's some limits to what we can do.
Any other questions, comments for Nathan? Public?
What was the anticipated start time, perhaps?
Once we enter negotiations, I'll have to come back to y'all to get.
Okay, I didn't know if you had any
But
thought.
they told us that they said like in an ideal world, we're like in an 18-month build out from date of award of the contract till we've gotten contractor permitting, they think, and then construction would be looking at about an 18-month build
I
out.
just had no idea, which is why I asked.
Yeah.
Good question. All right. Would somebody like to make a motion?
Make a motion, we authorize city engineer to enter into negotiations with Pond and Company for the design of the Nettles Scenic Bikeway portion of the Green Crescent Trail as presented.
There you go. There you go. Any other comments, questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. All right.
Thank you.
Nathan. Have a great evening. Last is mayor council reports, comments, new business. The only thing I'll share very quickly is, as you can see from Natalie and Allie, they continue to impress us with our new logo, getting it out there, but also if you notice our Facebook, Instagram, you name it, it's getting out there. But this is a very, and it also talks about commercial space. This is just one I just bought, the year in review. So please be on the lookout for it, thank you. And Natalie's already left, I think I would thank her publicly as well. I think you're getting it out in bullet points, and I think that's crucial, to give key facts. And I got to use it this Saturday when we had visitors from the Chamber of Commerce in Sumter. They visited our area, which we're very thankful for, and shared a lot of did you know, and a lot of them didn't know some of the things we were sharing. So it's good to get that information out, so thank you again. Other comments or other reports?
Yes, we are scheduled, as you all know, our Black History Month luncheon is February 29th, 11 a.m. at Little John Community Center. I will make sure you get the flyer, but there's an Eventbrite reservation or RSVP that we're asking people to fill out. If you don't, let me know, because we are going to be capacity at 150, and that's our stop. So please, if you're planning to attend, let me know so I can make sure we reserve a spot for you at that time. But it is February 29th, 11 a.m. till about 1:30 p.m. And of course, we have our speaker, Dr. Khalid El Hakim, and then we will have food, and we have a dance troupe coming from Greenville, so we're pretty excited about that. So please, if you're able to attend, come out. That's all I have.
Cool.
But if you just want to let me know, I can go ahead and fill out your Eventbrite.
She knows how we work.
You in?
You just want to get a count real quick?
Okay,
I'm in.
1, 2.
I'm not, I'm sorry.
In.
In.
Okay, so I know, I'll go ahead and reserve it for you all then.
Our state conference is in Columbia for 2 days, so I'll be back to
Okay.
Columbia.
I will go ahead and register for you all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other? Yeah.
I was just going to say that as we have a lot of things currently going on and coming up where we're working with consultants on like the rec plan and the comp plan and finishing up with Link and those kind of things, that just as council, we all need to be like very aware of what the scope of those projects are, because sometimes consultants will hear things from us and take that as we should go forward with something. So we need to follow those protocols and make sure that we're communicating through Andy and Allie or whoever the staff member is there, so we make sure that we don't get into where we're not pushing scope creep without having those discussions amongst ourselves first to have those approved.
Any other comments? Thank you. All right, somebody like to make a motion to adjourn? So moved. Thanks.
We're going to record that for posterity.
330 days, just to make some.
Comments, questions, all in favor, raise your right hand. All right, we're adjourned. Have a great evening.